we think that confidence is something we have, then we can do something. Oh, I can't because I'm not confident,
Ah,
versus looking at confidence as a muscle.
hmm.
And
That's
that,
a good perspective. Yeah.
and so from the fitness industry, we'd say we always take our muscle to muscle failure.
Hmm.
And when we get there, then our muscles begin to grow.
Right.
But unless you experience failure, you're not going to get any confidence because you
Hmm.
haven't challenged yourself to failure. You're staying in your comfort zone. You're staying back from pushing yourself to that next level. So, like
Yeah.
fitness, your confidence muscle isn't going to grow until you hit those failure points,
Mm-hmm.
and then you move forward from that.
Right. Yeah. It's that ripping of that muscle and that pain that you experience, when you work out and you go, oh, what did I do to myself? But, then you come back and you are stronger afterwards, after you heal, and you can do that. And yeah. And I think we tend to, as a society, not to push ourselves and our children as much as we used to
Mm,
in that area.
yeah.
And that probably is, one of those things that you're seeing is, the decline of confidence across the board.
Yep. And I think parents of whether it's special needs or just regular kids are often afraid to. We feel like we failed our kids
Mm,
a lot, and I think
yeah.
we struggle with our own confidence. Are we smart enough to raise these kids? Do we have what it takes? I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I think I'm
Mm,
failing. I need to find someone else to do it. Or
right.
where do I get the help I need? What should I do? And we struggle. Um,
Yeah.
and I
And
can
society,
imagine.
unfortunately, tells us that over and over again. If you're not an expert, then what are you doing? You have no say in this arena, whether it's your own child or your own life, your own, all of this, even your own medical needs. You have no say if you don't know enough, and yet we do.
Yeah.
And so that's where the confidence comes in: is can we turn around and say, yes, I do have a say, and I can change this and make it better by making choices for
And I
myself and
think
my
that's
child.
true too, because we don't trust ourselves, we look to all of these experts.
Mm,
And
hmm.
the reality is, as a mom or a dad, you are the expert of your kid.
Yes, that is so true. Because a
And
teacher does not spend every waking hour with your child.
no. And then you have to ask yourself too, who are these experts? What makes them an expert? Just because
Mm,
society says so, they have a piece of paper with a degree that says I'm an expert. I encourage, even in the self-defense and self-protection world, I tell people stop listening to the experts. Me being one of them. Trust
mm,
your own self. A lot of the
right.
times,
Hmm.
Ecclesiastes 12:12. It's a great verse. It's thousands of years old. It says,
Hmm.
"Of the writing of many books, there is no end."
Yes.
So the author of
Exactly.
Ecclesiastes warns us: be careful of all the so-called experts.
Yeah. Because
And
every scenario is different.
yeah, and so we
Mhm.
have to be careful of the so-called experts, and we don't need them all the time. Now, it's good to get some things. That's true,
Yes. Hmm.
but we don't need to be. And look in the fitness world. One day coffee's good for you. The next day it's bad for you. You know,
Exactly.
eat fat, don't eat fat. A new expert comes along with some new advice, and we go stir crazy. Of course, we can't have confidence because as soon as we think we're doing something wrong, the next expert comes with the new book he just wrote that counters
Exactly. And it's completely
everything the
different.
last guy said.
Yeah.
And that's why we lack all sorts of confidence out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And the data for kids with special needs, when parents go and flip flop, they're told this is going to work for your child with autism, or this works for, best for a child with Down syndrome. And then they follow that track. And it seems we're just, following these rabbit trails after every time we get a new report that comes out with the greatest new thing. And yet, when I'm counseling with parents and when I did a lot of work just one-on-one with parents, I would always say, where's your peace?
Hmm.
Are you at peace with any of this? And I kind of leave them with, you got to just be where your peace is. and not keep following what everyone tells you to do. And if that person does tell you something to do and you know inside that that's where your piece is going to stay, then go with it. But otherwise, don't just keep doing things because people say it worked for them or this is the best thing out there. We can get very off track that way.
Yeah. And I think, but we see that in every area of life. In the
Mm-hmm.
fitness industry, I see it a lot with people running after fad diets,
Yes.
and they're looking for an outside solution, but sometimes the problem's internal. And that has a lot
Mm,
to do with we haven't come to the point of trusting ourselves yet.
yeah. Yeah.
And we're afraid to make our own decisions because what if we're wrong? That's now the fear gets in control. Well, if I do what the expert says, then I can always blame the expert.
Right. Yeah. I find that very true that we almost want a scapegoat when we're doing something because again, it goes back to that confidence issue is I can't stand on my own. I need somebody that's behind me or in front of me to blame when this doesn't go well.